We're playing. We're
recording.
When are we lighting this hoo-ha?
Well, let's do it.
Let's get that hoo-ha lit, y'all.
The hoo-ha hash.
The
and
hoo-ha
all
hash.
the Who Village and all the Who hash.
And pause for room tone.
Good thing, too, because that fan's loud.
Welcome back to another episode of Room Tone, podcast where three amazing friends get together and make a short film, and in the process showing you a little bit of insight of how we're making it. My name is Austin Arpeza. I am an amateur filmmaker. My fun fact is I just saw a trailer for Everything All at Once or something like that. It's a new movie coming out by the Daniels, who made Swiss Army Man. And I'm very excited because this is their second movie, and I've been waiting for them to produce something else. It's not really it's a fun fact about me. Or not really a fun fact about me.
It's very fun.
It's something that happened to me today, and it just made me really excited.
Heck yeah. I am Austin Swain. I work for the State Department, and I am a homosexual.
Oh my goodness.
I feel no personal shame or guilt for this.
What is your deal? What was that? What was that from?
I keep forgetting that you're doing movie quotes.
Oh my god, yeah, it's so off-putting.
Yeah.
I'm like, what just happened?
And so every time I hear you say something that's just like off the cuff like that, I get so confused. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah. I'm like,
it's such a weird joke, but then it re-registers like, oh, that's what you're doing. You're saying a movie quote from a movie that you're going to be talking about in the podcast.
Yeah, and I guess also, like, I'm an amateur filmmaker. I work in corporate production, but I make music videos on the side to feed my right brain. And I'm very much excited to make a short movie with my friends.
Yeah.
Friends. I'm Maddie. I, in all planes but physical, am Squidward. Let's see, I had 2 cheese sticks today, and we restarted watching New Girl yesterday, which is like rekindling my love of like that type of humor.
Oh, yeah.
Just like Zoe Deschanel is so fucking awkward. So awkward, and like I want a character like her in our thing. Like just has no fucking boundaries.
I feel like that'd be like the girlfriend.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so I guess for context, in case this does make it in, a few years ago, 4 years ago?
Like 5 years
yeah,
ago.
like 2017.
Yeah, dude.
2017, 4 or 5 years ago from today, I was working on building my portfolio and ended up... Actually, this was part of my like final portfolio project for the multimedia program from college. Yeah. This was part of like my final thing that I needed to graduate was I ended up working with the Boy Scouts to basically shoot them like a hype video. And so we ended up being invited out to this like weekend camping trip. And so I brought along my very talented video friend from college, Austin, who we'd worked together on like a few projects, a few short films, and like had worked together at the school for so long. And my girlfriend at the time, who was trying to learn photography.
Yep.
Weird.
Who is now your wonderful
my
wife.
Girlfriend, now wife. Who was like trying to find her footing in photography and just like enjoyed holding a camera. Oh my God. So and we spent the whole weekend together just like in a cabin, just like shooting the shit and talking about how weird it was to be hanging out with Boy Scouts all weekend.
Yeah. That was like the start of our friendship, I feel like. I feel like that was when like shit really got real.
I think so too.
Yeah. That's so cute!
Yeah. I think it got real once we all like just like had to stay in a cabin together and we all just shot the shit and just made jokes and laughed and had a good time. Like, I think that really spread the butter of friendship over our toast. That sounds weird.
So true, though.
The marmalade of human interaction.
Yeah, like, by the end of that trip, I know that I was like, I need to be hanging out with Austin more.
Yeah.
Like,
and I thought the same thing about you.
That's so cool.
So what are we doing here today? What are we doing?
The last episode, we talked about kind of the direction in where we want our story to go.
We found a plot line.
A
premise.
We wiggled our way through the maze until we found ourselves a plot, boys.
Yeah.
Pranced into a premise.
Pranced into our plot point.
Which, just for a reminder for the listeners out there, that we are doing a family drama.
Dramedy. Like a dark comedy.
Dark comedy.
Yeah, sorry. So it's still in the realm of comedy, but like we're adding a little bit of a spice.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of spice.
Add a little bit of spice.
Yeah, the plan is basically kind of estranged son gets invited back to like a family dinner, a family gathering, and so he shows up bringing his new girlfriend, like, okay, let's go and reconnect with the fam a little bit. Shows up to learn that he just missed his father's funeral.
Unbeknownst to him, his father has died and no one told him.
No one told him until they're like, let's invite him for dinner.
Yeah.
And so our film is going to be kind of like the dinner and the gathering and like all the awkward moments and weird shit that can come from like this dysfunctional family.
Yeah, one room, one location, but lots of fun, like, design elements and just like choreography and stuff like that.
So we had talked about kind of making this, like, kind of bringing this into, like, the tutorial zone, like, as much as letting you observe us in the process, like, trying to talk through a little bit about what we know about this process, and so that people can learn, bring from this any information, or, like, you know, knowledge and things like that they can or that they want.
We are wise owls.
Yeah, we're not, like, yeah, we try.
Big scary owls.
So for that example, like, you know, today we're going to be talking about our characters and like trying to figure out what cast of people we want to combine to like tell this story and make these weird moments and things like that, and
try to do a little improv as our characters and word association game if we have time.
Yeah.
Swain was just mentioning was that we kind of came up with our idea. We got a really good baseline going, but we still have to do a lot of the expanding, not just characters. We just wanted to start with characters, but there's a lot more that's going to go into, like, crafting this little world. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, we're going to have to talk about so much more stuff, like set design and camera movements and all that stuff, and it's like, we're having this, like, big moment. Like, hell yeah, we came up with a plot point, but that's, like, just a drop in the ocean.
It's the first step on this run.
Buckle in, folks.
Okay, you ready for me to get real honest here? There is a little bit of anxiety for me locking down something. And that's not me saying we shouldn't do something. Mm-hmm. That's me more so just, like, sharing with, like, the listeners, like, hey, like, if you're feeling this way, it's okay.
It's normal. Yeah. Yeah, we had so many good ideas on this brainstorm, and, like, I got that paralyzation of, like, too many choices of, like, oh my god, these are all such good ideas. Like, if we do one, that means we don't get to do 10. Yeah. And there's a lot of, like, fear in that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you always think to yourself, like, oh, I know I'm gonna have, like, a better idea.
Yeah. That fear of missing out of, like, but what's coming next?
Yeah.
Exactly.
But in that world, like, that's why I'm so excited that we've locked in. Because now, I mean, your brain's going to keep going a little bit. It's going to have that momentum. But now we can just kind of, like, shut out the rest of the noise and just, like, now focus on this. Yeah. And, like, this idea is all I've been thinking about, like, since we came up with it. I mean, at least in terms of, like, when I think about this project.
Same. And
that's all I'm thinking about.
It's everything.
And that's the weird part, too, because I'm really enjoying the direction we're going. Mm-hmm. And I'm really enjoying what we're doing. But, like, God, there's just, like, this, like, yeah, like, this weird, like, oh my God, here it is.
Yeah.
Let's lock it in.
Let's commit.
Yeah.
We're doing it. Do we have a goal by the end of today? Just kind of, like, settle on some characters and some scene ideas?
Cast down.
Just get like a really good idea of like where we're going with these characters and who these people are. Yeah. So for when we do the next episode, we can start talking about story structure. Yeah. And like what these characters are doing.
Yeah. Who are they how they're reacting in their environment.
This is almost like our mood board for characters.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious a little bit.
Mood boards.
Mm-hmm. Just to throw out this like background thought, like not really as a topic of discussion today, but just to kind of swim through the waters of like, is there a message?
Nah, fuck the message.
No, I feel like there's...
should something be accomplished, like, through our main character's story?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I still really vibe with, like, they're all, like, yelling at each other at, like, crescendos, and they're all freaking out, and then, like, somebody says, Dad would have never let this happen, and they all just, like, kind of sit in that moment of silence and, like, have their only real moment as a family, and kind of just, like, are able to leave better than they arrived.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I like that.
I agree with that, too. Yeah, maybe it doesn't need, like, a super, like, always do your homework, kid.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I don't need a moral to the story. I just want it to end differently than it started.
Yeah.
What are you guys thinking for, like... Or let me know if this is like more for like for the next episode when we're talking more about the story. But what do you guys think about the idea that our character is disattached from like this family, and also is like disattached from like their
detached.
Sorry. Yeah, he's detached from. You'll hear me make up a lot of words during the podcast.
Oh my god, we should start an Austin dictionary. That'd be so cute.
So detached. Yeah, so our character's detached from their family, but also they're detached from their world as well, like the outside world, outside their family. Kind of like the idea of how I feel very weird about like me being half Mexican and like half white. Like I feel like I'm not white enough to be called white, and I feel like I'm not Mexican enough to be called Mexican.
Mm-hmm.
Similar to like that like idea, except more so like I'm not like them enough to be like them.
Right.
But I'm not like them enough.
I'm not myself enough to not be like them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hashtag deep.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing to explore.
But in a funny way.
Yes. But like, haha.
Yeah, but we all laugh at the end.
Yeah.
See, from my perspective, I see our character like being so detached from his family, and then when he arrives, like you see a family that's so detached from reality that like it makes sense. Like I'm getting very like Michael Bluth vibes, where like his family's just so fucking insane that like since he's the only normal one, like he's the weird one.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But I love the idea too of just, like, you know, exploring those inner struggles. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I definitely, when we go into our characters, my main character is definitely like ready to explode at any moment.
Yeah, beautiful.
That's like a character trait.
Last note, I guess we also brought in dinner scenes to draw inspiration from, of, you know, movies and or TV shows or anything like that that are already out there to kind of pull from. So where do we want to start?
Should we start with scenes then characters?
Okay.
To get a better idea of the characters.
So we can like spend longer on characters?
Yeah.
God.
Okay.
We probably have a lot of duplicates. I can go first.
Yeah. Sorry. I'll get up the YouTube app.
Fun fact about me, I saw the scariest snowman
I want to
ever
hear about
today.
this.
It was, okay, the snowman was about 7 feet tall and was not made of round, fluffy balls, as one would expect, but was just a thin pillar of snow with 2 fan sticks for arms, and he just looked so like all I could see was just this thing like slinking towards me in the night.
Oh, he sounds cute.
Just like a rod.
Cute.
Rod man.
Rod with hands.
Yeah.
Those are called lizards.
Today I saw a weird snow lizard.
Yeah.
Didn't like. Disapprove.
The first one I wanted to show is the milking cats scene from
yes.
Meet the Parents.
Oh god, yeah, I totally forgot about that scene.
I also brought that scene.
So we can play that.
What did you really like about it? Like, what made that stick?
I like the passive aggressiveness of Robert De Niro's character against the main character, because it's just like, oh my god, you're so mean, but like you're like I can't be mad at you. I can't be mean to you. Mm-hmm. I love the cuts of like blank reactions that just hold in silence. Mm-hmm. I love the shot of him with the urns behind him. Yeah.
Good framing.
Yeah.
Really good framing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the silence in just letting the character speak.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, dig yourself a deeper hole, bud.
Yeah.
Another one of my favorite moments, like, from this scene is when, like, Ben Stiller goes back to the kitchen and you get that, like, moment of break where he just, like, talks to himself. Yeah. And you just, like, you really get, like, a clear expression of, like, how he's feeling in this
how
moment.
he's actually doing.
Yeah, like, the mask comes off. He's like, oh, God, these fucking people. Like, I want to encapsulate that a little bit in our film, too.
For sure. My next one is notorious and probably pretty obvious. I brought in the dinner scene from The Office. I brought in
the dinner party.
The dinner party episode. You know the one.
So tell us your main takeaway for bringing in the scene.
So a main takeaway is like the dynamic of there only being the one normal, like the Michael Bluth situation where everyone else in the group is like totally off their fucking rocker.
Yeah.
And yeah, the disassociation. Like you were saying, like Jan is literally so fucking crazy. Like she's literally just like, oh my God, like my 20-year-old assistant. And it's just so awkward.
Yeah.
Like it's just perfectly awkward in every way. And you can just like feel the tension off of everyone.
I agree.
And I think that's fun.
To have this like dysfunctional group bouncing off of the walls, like to throw in one person who's just like staring into the distance, like licking a window somewhere is such a fun juxtaposition.
Yeah.
Just the person who's so disconnected.
Do you have any takeaways?
I really enjoy the, I guess you can say the cinematography of it, of Michael's reality of like, no, I saw him, look at him, he's laughing, and like the reaction shot of like him just like
totally not laughing.
Love that.
That's so true.
Like something like I really enjoyed that, and I think that'd be really fun to like add or you know just
in like a more stylistic way. I think that would be a super fun joke.
Yeah.
And then my last one, which is the shortest one, I think, is from American Psycho. I just love Patrick Bateman. Yeah. That makes me sound like such a douche, but I do. I just love him.
Very passive-aggressive.
So passive-aggressive and so a psychopath.
Yeah.
Like, I want, like, that to be, like, the teenage kid.
Okay.
Just, like, the fucking kid who you're like, he needs to be put on a bomb watch.
Yes,
like,
I love the idea of, like, the psychopath kid.
Yeah, and everyone's like, oh my God, can we please stop inviting him?
Yeah. Just says some weird offhanded shit like, should we be questioning him?
Yeah.
Probably.
And I like the time jump. I like the food as a cut. Yeah.
Yes. Good.
I gained so much respect for Christian Bale after learning what he based Patrick Bateman's character off of.
Tom Cruise, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. In an interview Tom Cruise did, he was like, he had a very intense friendliness in his smile, but he had dead eyes. It's like, oh my God, when you see like the picture from that interview, that's totally what he looks like, and like he just channeled that shit. Like, I like Christian Bale way more when I know that's not just how he acts.
Yeah.
Like,
that's fair. That's really fair. So I brought in the scene from Breaking Bad where Jesse Pinkman is sitting down with Walter White and Skylar White for dinner, and they just have this very awkward exchange. This is like Jesse's second time ever talking to Skylar, and the last time he talked to him was like season 1. My favorite scene.
Oh my God, okay. I haven't seen this, have I?
No, you haven't.
Oh my God.
Is this spoilers?
I don't remember
Not really.
what the scene is.
No.
Okay, no.
I was like, Skylar and Jesse are never in the same room. Have never been.
This might be the first time they are.
Yeah. So I guess that's a spoiler, sorry.
Can I tell you one thing that sequence inspired in me? I love that shot, like the long pour of the wine and like how much that says about like her current emotional state. And I have written like in my like little cast of characters, like I love the idea of the mom being like being a drunk.
Mm-hmm.
In line with that, and like as part of a comedy, like I love the idea of like seeing two characters having a bicker, and like eventually underneath that bicker you start to hear that sound of like the wine hitting the glass like for so long on their shot, and then you cut over and she's just like finishing pouring this giant glass of wine.
That would be good. And she just like doesn't even realize, she's like, I'm
like they're bickering and you just hear this like
yeah.
Until you like finally cut over to see what's happening.
And it's just fucking grandma with her gin.
Like, you fucking bastards drive me nuts.
Maybe showing this clip doesn't do it justice.
No, I love this clip.
But like it's like that just that blow up. You can tell like he's trying to hold back and try to like out of the sake of, the family, try to, like, just have a good time, and they're just not letting it happen. And that blow up happens,
I like that.
The explosion in that is really good. I think I like that emulation of just, like, the character snaps, and everyone is like, oh shit, you're right.
And just in general, like, those moments where a single character just takes over the scene, and you get those, like, 30 seconds of just, like,
good acting.
This is who I am, and this is why, like, this is how I'm feeling right now. Just to get those story moments are going to be important and fun.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I love, like, the little jabs from the family. Just, like, these little things are like, oh, ha, ha, ha.
Passive aggressive.
Yeah, like little passive aggressive shits.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
That's a lot like the Meet the Parents one, too.
Yeah.
The passive aggressive family member. It's like, you put on a little weight, huh? Like that vibe.
Is that a concept? Family, like, do we want, in our story, do we want to explore, like if they try to play a game or something? It probably doesn't fit.
We don't know.
Yeah,
It's our second charades clip, so I'm like, we might as well ask.
I think that might be fun, but I'm really picturing, like, just at the dinner table, pretty much.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't do, like, family game night after the funeral. Yeah.
Well,
plus the rest of them are sad. I have to keep reminding myself.
But how funny would it be if there's someone who's trying to play a game?
Yeah.
Like, he's like, how about we play, like, charades?
Like the Austin at my family gatherings.
Like, Jesus Christ, Suzanne, it's a fucking funeral.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's go get in 20 minutes and see if we want to play games.
I brought Jenga. Why?
Yeah, see, you just said that you have to keep reminding yourself that everyone is sad. I don't. Like, I don't think everyone is sad.
I don't think they're...
Wait.
I think they're just sad at the death of the father.
Yeah. Or wait, did one of you just say that? Oh, Maddie said that. I'm sorry. Yeah, you just said that, you have to keep reminding yourself that everyone's sad about this funeral, but I don't think we need to restrict ourselves to that box either of, like, there's a lot of emotions that can follow the death of a father. Yeah,
no, I don't think they're just going to be sad. I just think, like, their overall tone is going to be more sad than the main character. Because they put on a funeral. True. They're, like, all dressed in black. Like, it's still, like, enough of a connection that they were, like, he's fucking dead.
The Meyerowitz stories, the dinner scene, it's, or not the dinner scene, the restaurant scene. It's essentially a conversation between a father and a son who haven't seen each other in a while. Mm-hmm. Or maybe not a while, but, like, there's a time. And they're having a conversation, getting an update on each other, and they're just very in their own worlds.
Heck yeah. Well, I want to talk about that a little bit. Yeah, I mean, so the video that you brought in was that conversation between a father and son having like a mundane kind of small talk conversation on the surface.
Whoa.
Whoa. But it was subtitled with like what they were actually saying. And I know we keep kind of coming back to like dialogue being something that we're very excited to write as part of this. And some of the things that I brought are like these very like precise and deliberate dialogues. And what can you get across with just like very deliberate words and like kind of spinning them in these different kinds of ways. So that was fun to watch.
Okay, well then you go, Mr. Man.
Hello. For my first scene that I brought in is the dinner scene from I'm Thinking of Ending Things, the Netflix movie, and it was actually a very similar like boy bringing in his girlfriend to meet the parents, and just like just so awkward conversation, like very pointed questions, like it feels like an interrogation in a lot of ways of like, hey, prove yourself to us as the new girlfriend. And just a weird dynamic to like watch a group of people go through. It's kind of a longer scene.
And it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Like that interaction, just this family like coming into this new person of just like so, like, what are you about?
Yeah, dissecting them.
Yeah, like, very just disconnected and disjointed.
Yeah, and the person getting asked the questions is, like, not comfortable with it at all.
Like, trying to be so normal. Like, the idea...
They're like, I'm just gonna act like this isn't strange.
Yeah.
Trying to carry on like a normal person.
Trying to normalize the normal.
The next scene that I brought in was the dinner scene from Clue, which is this coming together of people who are just like trying to learn about each other. I mean, they're all complete strangers, and so they're all coming in and like just trying to learn about each other. And each of like, what I love about Clue is that each of their lines just seems to just like boom, 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 like cut in and out of one another. And it's just like, so it's like an intricate dance almost like of dialogue, but in a very like 1980s campy kind of way. And like a lot of the clips that we've brought in too, like they take these awkward pauses and just like sit on them, for these little minutes. However, that scene isn't on YouTube, so I don't like actually have a clip. But I did bring in just another clip from Clue just to watch that dialogue and interaction. Which, for those who have stuck around, my introductory reference was from this movie. It's how Mr. Green introduces himself. I work for the State Department, and I am a homosexual.
Wait,
look at those cheekbones.
Did you really say I am a homosexual?
No, I said something.
Oh, okay. I was okay. I only heard that part. I was like, wow.
But yeah, I think I've said what I wanted to about that film. I love how all of these characters kind of collide and just start to bounce off of each other. I
really enjoy the awkwardness in the scene of two characters having a really good time and one just not having a great time.
That's fair.
The scene is from Hunt for the Wilder People, Ricky Baker's birthday song.
Ricky Baker! Oh my god.
just like the two characters just having a really good time and one not having a good time.
Yeah, and not even trying to hide it.
Yeah.
I love, there's so much comedy in the grump. As a trope and as a character.
Agreed.
Yeah, the grump and the bitch are so good.
Based off what we brought in, what would you say would be the character types that you would like to play with based off what we saw, right?
Yeah, yes. What is your answer to that question?
So a lot of the character types that I noticed in the clips that we brought in are like the grumpy person, like this person who's so like disconnected or in their own head, this person who's like trying to be super nice and normal and like bring things together, or the person who's just overly nice in a not so normal way, like the fucking psychopath who you never know what they're gonna say next and are just terrified of. These kinds of things are fun things that I noticed in the clips that we brought in. Yeah.
I like the dynamic between like Jim and Pam, like both trying to get out of the party, but like not being able to like work together, and like literally like ready to abandon her at the party because he wanted to leave. I like that dynamic of like, we're on the same side, but bitch, I'm not staying.
And those moments too of dropping the mask, getting to see a person's true feelings, and kind of like I feel like a lot of this dinner is going to be a bit of keeping up that mask and like trying to act a certain way, maybe. And
trying to like hold on to your last breaking point.
That might be a strong theme throughout it, is like, at what points do we break through that mask?